Yes, so we're going to be doing a lot of planks today, which is going to be good, but you'll get breaks in between them and don't stress too much about it. Anyone have any questions, comments before we start? Let me just recopy this playlist. Yeah, so if you want to play music on your end, feel free to. You can choose a volume music. That's a core and glutes playlist I made. If you want to use that one instead, up to you. I think that's pretty much everything. As always, take modifications. I'll give it tons of modifications for the planks, so don't stress on those too much. So we're going to start seated first today. And you can put either hand, whatever one feels better, behind your neck, and then just imagine you're pushing your head back into your hand. So you're getting some of that length in your neck and in your spine. So my boyfriend and I were watching a video earlier about how all day we, tilt our neck forward, and we're always in this pressed forward state. So before we start doing all the planks where we tend to drop our neck, try to remember what it feels like to have that neck pressed back. So stacking of the skull onto your scapula and then onto your sacrum. So you can close your eyes here if you want and really just try to feel that alignment from your head all the way down to your hips. And then you can imagine when you get into a horizontal position, you kind of have to have the same type of alignment, because if you're in a plank and your neck is forward, that's going to put the same kind of stress on your spine and your shoulders. So we are going to come back into our hip bridge position. So laying down, that lower back is pressed down into the mat here. So really pressing down to the spine. You can put those hands on your hips or on your thighs, and then finding that neutral spine, you're going to start to lift up into a glute bridge here, pressing the feet into the mat. And we'll just start with some heel raises here actually. So lifting up the heels, lowering them back again, warming up the fascia in your feet. You may also feel some inner thigh engagement here too. Good, we'll do 3, 2, 1, and then we're just going to come into some hip bridge marches. So bringing that right leg up to a 90-degree angle, bringing it back down, extending that left leg up, bringing it back down. So just marching those feet up and down, and no rush here, really trying to control the movement. I like to pretend I'm pressing down like a button with my foot as it goes down so that there's a little bit of resistance. And that core is starting to engage here as well. Good. 3, 2, 1. You can keep that right leg up, and you're going to take that left hand and press it against that right leg. So building some tension, you should feel that left glute really fire up here. So pressing against your right leg. Good. 3, 2, 1. We'll switch to the other side so that left leg comes up. So right hand presses against the left leg. Good. 3, 2, 1. You can put that foot down. Last little hold here. Waking up those glutes. Maybe you want to give them a little punch. And then we'll lower down. We're going to do one quick round of core, so we'll do enough of it today. So bringing those hands behind your neck, elbows pointed up. We'll take an inhale. On that exhale, lifting the shoulder blades up off the ground. You can bring that left leg up to a 90-degree angle, kind of like in the hip bridge. Really pressing down with that core. Bringing that foot down. Inhaling. Exhale. And lift up. That right leg comes up this time. Same thing, really pressing down with that spine. Good, down. All right, this is really our second to last time. Inhale, exhale, and lift. You're lifting up that left leg. And here we're gonna switch. So you're still
pulling up. We're kind of doing that same marching movement here. So tapping one foot, really pressing down to the core here. For 3, 2, 1. You can bring that foot down. Last time, inhaling. Exhale and lift. This time that right leg starts up and we'll do our switches. So again, that lower back is not pulling up off the ground. Warming up that core for 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. You can come all the way up into a seat. We're just gonna open up the chest a bit. So you can start by making sure you have enough room around you first. Start by opening those arms up into a T, a Y, so my arms are just straight up to the side, and then into a W. So coming into that T, into your Y, and then your W. And you want to make sure, my boyfriend's getting a work phone call, the ribs are engaged here, they're tucked and the core is engaged. So getting some of that opening in your chest here. This should feel pretty good, especially if you find yourself hunched over all day. Good, last one. And then we'll just come to our goalpost arms and just come to a couple thoracic twists before we get right into our plank. So feeling some freeness in that spine, but those hips are staying facing forward. 3, 2, 1. All right, so today we have a really fun class. I'm biased because I made it, obviously. But we are going to be doing 10 planks, and each of them will be a minute, but they're spread out throughout the class, and I want to emphasize how important it is to choose what plank you want to do. So if you want to do them on your forearms, awesome. If you want to do them on your hands, awesome. If you want to do a side plank, if you, I don't know, want to add in a plank jack, really like do it on your knees, on your toes. We're going to be doing a lot of them, and feel free to change every time or change every 10 seconds. It doesn't matter to me. So really make this your own, and pick kind of what feels best to you in that moment. So we're actually going to start out with a plank, our first one. So you can find your way down to your mat in whatever way you want to start with. All right, we're going to start with our first minute plank. Again, knees, toes, whatever feels good. In 3, 2, 1. So similar to that alignment you found at the beginning, you really want to press. Well, you physically can't probably do it right now, but imagine that you're pressing your hand into your neck, and you're kind of pressing back into that aligned state. Hips are tucked. Glutes are engaged here as well. And really working on that mental strength. Good, we're halfway, 30 seconds. So these 1 minute planks, you're gonna be doing a lot of them. So I recommend really trying to focus on something in front of you or below you, and really trying to check in on how your body feels. Good, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, relax. Nice. All right, first one down, only 9 more to go. So in between, we're going to be doing Tabata rounds, which is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and we'll be doing 2 minutes. So our first exercise is going to be a side glute bridge. So you'll be on your side, one arm is down, those knees are bent, the other hand is on your hip. Let me pivot a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And you're going to lift up that top leg and come back down. So you're extending top leg back down. So we'll be on this side for 20 seconds. And then when we come back to it, we'll be on the other side. Your second exercise is going to be bicycle holds. So you'll be on your back, hands behind your neck. And kind of similar to that first movement we did, you're holding here and then switching to the other side. A modification is always to do feet on the ground. All right, so finding that side glute bridge position. All right, starting in 3,
2, 1. So you're lifting up that top leg and bringing it back down. Should feel a lot of work in that right glute. If your right glute is on the bottom, core is engaged here, really stability in the shoulder. 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds off. We're flipping onto our back for that bicycle crunch. And 3, 2, 1. So picking your level here. We're holding each crunch just for a couple of seconds and then switching to the other one. Same feeling here, that lower back is pressed down into the mat. 3, 2, 1. We're flipping to that other side for your side glute bridge, 10 seconds off. In 3, 2, 1. And you may feel that one side is way harder than the other one. You can also choose not to lift up the top leg if it feels better to just keep them stacked. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. You're back on your back for your glute bridge or your bicycles. In 3, 2, 1. So back into the bicycles. Again, you can always modify one foot on the ground. Up to you. Really trying to lead with the shoulders and the elbows, not the knees. 3, 2, 1. Relax. 10 seconds off. We're going to come right into that plank. So this is our second plank. Remember, wherever, whatever kind of plank you want. In 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to come into a hand plank this time, but whatever kind you want. Yes, side planks are great. Whatever you're feeling here. 1 minute. And then I promise we'll get recovery before our next round of Tabata. So things may get difficult. They may start shaking a little bit. That's normal. 30 seconds to go. Finding that intrinsic motivation, because you can absolutely do it. It's just your body telling you that it can't. 15 seconds. Good. 3, 2, 1. All right, take a breather here. Feel free to grab a sip of water. We'll go into our next Tabata round. So our first exercise will be an inchworm, because you can't really see me. Will be an inchworm. So walking out into that plank position and walking back up. Your second exercise will be squat taps. So you can just choose to do, squats without a jump. That's fine. Or if you want to add in that squat tap, it's going to be a tap in the middle. And this is a little way to get the heart rate up. You don't actually have to touch the ground, whatever feels best for you. All right, let's do those inchworms. Starting at 3, 2, 1. So coming into those inchworms, walking out into a plank, walking back up. You can bend those knees as much as you need. Good. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We'll come into our squat taps here. In 3, 2, 1. So remember, you can always just find a normal squat, or you can add in a little bit of a cardio boost here if that feels okay. There's no right or wrong way to do this, so whatever feels best for you and your level. 3, 2, 1. We're back into those inchworms in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Walking forward into that plank.
walking back up. Maybe that heart rate was lifted a little bit. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. Last round of squat taps. And 3, 2, 1. So really squeezing the glutes on that lower for your squat taps. Good, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. 10 seconds off. We're going into that plank. So any type of plank that you want in 3, 2, 1. This is our third plank. It's flying by already. Tucking those hips in. Again, you can always come down on your knees, whatever feels best for you. Hope you can all hear me breathing loudly. 30 seconds. Stay strong here. Final 15 seconds. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Feel free to grab some water. Nice job. All right, I'll demo the exercises for our next one. So our first exercise is a hovering table. So those hands are planted. You're kind of in that quadruped position, and then you're tucking the toes and the knees are hovering. So that's option 1, is just stay there. If you want to add on, you can add a couple alternating leg lifts. So lifting the legs up behind you. Sorry, you can't really see that from there. You're just lifting the feet a couple inches up and back. Second exercise is side lunge. So you can start in the middle of your mat, middle, and then you're coming into that side lunge, switching, side lunging back, alternating on either side of your mat. All right, let's go to our hovering table lifts. All right, we're starting in 3, 2, 1. So remember, you can just hold that hovering table, or you can add in those lifts if that feels okay for you. Same thing with that plank. You're finding that extended spine, so pressing the neck up as if your hand was there. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We're coming into those side lunges. In 3, 2, 1. So sitting the hips back and down, alternating sides here. Really, I even like pressing a hand into that hip crease to remind my hips to press back. 3, 2, 1. We're coming back down to the mat for those hovering tables. In 3, 2, 1. Tucking the toes. You can always just hold, or you can add in those lifts. Good. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We're coming in to our side lunges. In 3, 2, 1. Sitting back and down. So really targeting those inner thighs, which get really, really tight and often aren't totally functional. So making sure that they're staying engaged. We spend so much of our life moving forward and back. 3, 2, 1. We're coming into that plank. Remember, choosing your plank, whatever feels best for you. I think this should be number 4. In 3, 2, 1. 1 minute here. Finding control in whatever way you need. It's good to acknowledge that this is challenging, but you are rocking it. You are doing it. 30 seconds. It's also important if you need a modification, making sure that form is staying okay. You can always drop down to the knees or take a breather. 15 seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Feel free to grab some water. Take a second. You all are doing awesome. All right, next up, we'll start kind of in a lunge position with one leg behind you. That knee is bent. And we're gonna drive that knee forward and back into our lunge. So driving that knee forward and back. If you wanna add a jump at the top, feel free to add that. And you're really engaging those glutes. So we'll stay on one side and then switch to the other one for the next round. Second exercise is dead bugs. So you're coming down onto your mat. Those knees are up at 90 in the arms, and you're extending opposite arm, opposite leg, back up to the middle. Opposite arm, opposite leg. If you mess up, it doesn't matter if it's same arm, same leg, whatever works best. You just want to make sure the sacrum is pressed down into the mat the whole time. All right, we are ready to go. All right, so coming to that lunge position with the knee drive in 3, 2, 1. So that leg is back. You're driving that knee forward. Again, you can add that jump for some explosion if you want that extra little challenge, or you're just driving that knee up and back. Really firing up that glute. 3, 2, 1. We're coming into those dead bugs. So laying back down on your back. In 3, 2, 1. So opposite leg, opposite arm drops back. That lower back is pressed into the mat. Really nice and controlled here. Good. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We'll switch to that other leg for our lunge. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So same options on this other side. You can add that jump at the top if you want, or you're just doing that knee drive. 3, 2, 1. We're back into those dead bugs. Back onto your back. Knees are at 90. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Opposite hand, opposite foot, back to center. Finding some core control. 3, 2, 1. All right, going into that plank. 10 seconds here. This is our 5th plank, almost halfway. Well, this is halfway. 3, 2, 1. Wherever you are, finding that 5th plank. Good, nice and controlled here. You're almost halfway. Good, 30 seconds to go. And then you'll be at that halfway mark, actually more than halfway.
Good, stay strong, 15 seconds. Good, 3, 2, 1, relax. Nice job, everyone. All right, so we have one last Tabata round, and then we're gonna repeat it all of that one more time, and then we'll be done. So our final Tabata round is a dolphin with a leg extension. So you can have those hands either flat out in front of you or together. You're tucking the toes, lifting the hips. That left leg is gonna extend out to the side and back in, and then the next time you'll go to the other side. Our second exercise is curtsey lunges. So standing here, you're coming behind, and we'll alternate sides. Those hips are facing forward, alternating back and forth. All right, let's go to our dolphin extension. Starting in 3, 2, 1, 20 seconds here. So coming into that dolphin, extending that leg up and out. You're keeping the pelvis even here. Nice and control. That glute is fired, core is fired. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We'll stand up into our curtsey lunge. In 3, 2, 1. Sorry if you can hear my boyfriend yelling. He's on the phone. He's not really yelling. He just has a very loud voice. Good. Those glutes are fired. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off here. Going back into dolphin on the other side. You can always just hold dolphin too. 3, 2, 1. So lifting that other leg up and out to the side. Nice and control. That toe is flexed in towards you. 3, 2, 1. All right, coming into those curtsey lunges. 3, 2, 1. So making sure you're stepping far enough back that that knee is staying right above the ankle. I sometimes like to put my hands on my pelvis to make sure they're staying even. 3, 2, 1. All right, 6th plank, let's go. So finding your plank position. Are we tired of planks yet? Starting in 3, 2, 1. Tucking those toes. Good, so finding that control at the beginning, finding your alignment. We're making so much progress here. You all are doing awesome. I'm getting tired too. Good, 30 seconds to go. Good, 15 seconds here, 15 seconds. Good, almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job, everyone. So good news, we are more than halfway here. So we're going back to the beginning of the Tabata. So back into our side glute raises. So we're on our forearm, lifting our hips, and then our bicycle holds. So going back to the beginning. So finding that side glute position. Feel free to grab some water if you need it here. I need a little sip. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So finding that raised position. You can also straighten that leg out at the top if that feels okay, instead of bending it really your choice. Good, 3, 2, 1. We're flipping on our backs for those bicycle holds. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So holding at the top at the extension and then switching. You can see how clean my feet are. Good, 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We're switching to that other side for our side glute bridge. So coming down on that forearm, thumb is up. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So lifting that top leg if that feels okay, or you can lift that top leg and then straighten it. 3, 2, 1. We're on our backs again for our bicycle crunches. In 3, 2, 1. So coming in to those holds. So finding that extension, crunching up, pressing down that low back, and then switching. 3, 2, 1. Coming into, I believe, our 7th plank. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was 7, right? Yeah, I think so. All right, 3, 2, 1. Look, after this, we only have 8, 9, 10. That's exciting. If you find that you feel wobbly or insecure, sometimes it's better to bring your feet out wide, and then you'll have a wider base of support. I always forget to do that, but it usually can help a lot. Good, 30 seconds here. You can imagine you're pulling the mat apart, really engaging those upper back muscles. They'll help aid here. "15 seconds to go. Good, 3, 2, 1, relax. All right, 1 round down, 4 to go. Next up, we're back into that inchworm. So walking up and down, and then squat taps. And again, you can always take squat taps as squats instead, up to you. All right, when you feel ready, we'll come up to the back of your mat for our inchworms. And if you really would like to, you can always add a push-up at the bottom of your inchworm too. Ready, set, go. So walking down into that plank. If you want to add a push-up here, you always can. And then walking back up. Good, 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We'll come into those squat taps or squats, your choice. In 3, 2, 1. Picking your level. Good, 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We're back into that inchworm. In 3, 2, 1. Finding that plank we're all too used to now. And back up. 3, 2, 1. All right, coming to that final round of our squat taps. We'll start in 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. All right, coming into that 8th plank here. I might go for a side plank this round. 3, 2, 1. Finding control. I find side planks a lot harder than normal planks. Good, 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. Trying to control the breathing. Final 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, relax. I am sweaty. All right. Coming back to that 3rd Tabata round. So we have our hovering table lifts. So you can again just hold that hovering table, or you can lift the legs, and then we have our side lunges. Whew. All right, when you're ready, we'll find that hovering table position, tucking those toes. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So again, you don't have to do the lifts. You can just hold that hovering table. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We'll come to standing for those side lunges. And 3, 2, 1. So sitting the hips back and down, alternating legs here. Whatever feels best for you. Good. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We're back into that hovering table. Is everyone tired of me saying 3, 2, 1 yet? 3, 2, 1. Tucking those toes again. Feel free to hold that hovering table. Good. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. Up into that side lunge. And 3, 2, 1. Sitting back and down. So notice that my knee is staying over my toe here, so that the momentum is really hinging those hips back. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. We're coming into that 9th plank. 9. All right, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. So again, choosing whatever plank you want to be doing here. I'm on a side plank roll. Really engaging the deep layers of your core here. Good. Halfway. Nice. You all look good from what I can see. Final 15 seconds. Good. 3, 2, 1. All right. Guess what? We only have 1 plank left. That's pretty exciting. Who would have thought?
All right, we do have 2 more Tabata rounds though. So our next one, remember we're doing that lunge into our knee drive. And then we have our dead bug, so on our back, dropping one arm at a time. So we'll stand up for that lunge with our knee drive, starting in 3, 2, 1. So we're in that lunge, stepping back. You can add that jump if you want, exploding so that whatever leg is staying on the ground is the one that really is propelling you forward. It's not the momentum of that knee. 3, 2, 1. We're laying down on our back for those dead bugs. Knees are up at your 90-degree angle. Hands are up. 3, 2, 1. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Extending out and back in. Good. 3, 2, 1. Standing back up for that knee drive in 3, 2, 1. So same thing here, choosing your level. You can always just come forward and drive instead of adding that jump. I like using my hands to help kind of make me look cool. Not sure how cool I actually look. 3, 2, 1. All right, coming back to those dead bugs. In 3, 2, 1. So if you really listen to your low back not peeling, you shouldn't be able to go down super far. So really it could just be here and then coming back in, as long as that lower back's staying down the whole time. 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone, final plank. 10th one. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's finish it. Last plank. Finding that stable position. You should be so proud of yourself. This is not easy. You are also strong. Your deep layers of core are very thankful for you today. 30 seconds to go. Tucking the hips, engaging those glutes. Final little push. We got 15 seconds. Three, 2, 1. All right, we have our final 2-minute Tabata to finish. So our first exercise is the dolphin leg extension. So we're in our dolphin, abducting the leg out and in, and then finishing with the curtsey lunges. All right, take a second. Let's finish it, and then we will do our little cool down. When you're ready, finding that dolphin. So you can, again, put those hands down like your forearms, or you can bring them together. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So extending that left leg up and out to the side. You can always just hold dolphin too. Don't feel like you necessarily have to lift that leg. Good. 3, 2, 1. Standing up for our curtsey lunges. Alternating in 3, 2, 1. So bringing that knee behind. If curtsey lunges ever feel wonky, feel free to find normal lunges too. I always like to put my hands on my hips just to remind myself where my pelvis is. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. Final minute here. Coming into those dolphins, leg extension on the other side.
3, 2, 1. Nice and controlled. Good. 3, 2, 1. Let's finish it. Final 20 seconds here. Coming to those curtsey lunges in 3, 2, 1. Stepping behind. Keeping space in your knees. Good. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Have some fun here. Let it all out. You can't really see me, but I look crazy. Give yourself whatever you need for a second. If you want to stretch, if you want to just shake out your body, we'll do some nice stretching. So we're actually going to start all the way back down on our backs. I did this stretch yesterday and it made me realize how much I need to work on my shoulder mobility. So because we put a lot of stress on our shoulders from all of those planks, so bringing those knees in, and you can give your sacrum a little roll here first. So rolling around the sacrum, releasing the low back. And then when you feel like you've really gotten some of that pressure out, you're going to hug those knees in and then just fall over to one side with those knees hugged in pretty tight. And here you can keep one hand on that hip, and then you're going to take this left arm, if your knees are over to the right, and you're just kind of going to furlough it nice and long. So you should feel like the twist is not in your lumbar spine, but it's really opening up this chest and thoracic spine. I even like to sometimes grip onto my ribs, and you can feel, if you have to hold your lumbar back from turning, then turn a little bit more towards your knees. So you should feel some opening in the chest. Should feel pretty good here, especially after all the pressure we put on our shoulders from the planks. Good, and then you can bend that arm in and bring it back. And then you're going to bring both of these arms together and then down on the ground. And this is where you're going to bring your left arm kind of in a circle up and around, and you'll find a spot where you do have to lift the hand off the ground, or maybe you will have really good shoulder mobility. And then bringing it back down to where your glute is, and then extending that arm up and over, and be gentle too. There may be a spot that feels really tight, and give yourself a second. You can bend that arm, whatever feels best. Just trying to get some opening in this shoulder joint and our shoulder girdle. Oh, this feels so nice. Good, last one. Big circle all the way around, and you can play around with which direction your thumb is in. Good, and then we're going to carefully roll back into the middle. Same thing, those knees hug nice and close. You're rolling over to the other side. So before you even unfurl that arm, kind of finding some stability, and then you can bring that arm and extend it out. One side might feel super different from the other side. You feel much more of a bicep stretch on this side than a chest one, which is interesting. Again, you can check in on the ribs, making sure the twist is not in the lumbar spine. Oh, ow. Good, and you can bring that arm back in, and those arms can come out next to you, and then we'll do that same thing, bringing that arm up and around. Oh, this side is so much harder for me. Good, and then extending up all the way around. Good, we'll do one more. Maybe you want to slow it down a bit this time. It's okay if you feel some crack-a-lacking. Good, and then we can roll back into the middle here. We'll come into a figure 4, so crossing that left leg over, or your right leg over your left, and then if this feels okay, you can stay here. If you want a little extra, you can press that left leg in. See if you can do it for a second without just cranking that leg in. So see if you can control it. You'll feel some opening in your right glute, maybe in your inner thigh. Good, we'll switch to the other side, crossing that left leg over the right. If it feels good to keep that right foot on the ground, stay there. If you want some extra, you can press that right leg in, feel that opening. Even in this stretch, you shouldn't be letting the core go. The lower back should still be pressed down a bit. Good, you can lower that right leg and we'll come up into a seat and we'll do a couple more stretches and then I'll let you all go. So find again that seated position and we'll come back. You can't see my face. We'll come back into our T's and Y's and W's. So again, finding the ribs tucked and the core engaged, and we'll open up wide with those arms. Up, open up into that Y, and then into that W. Good, opening up and not just letting the ribs splay, really try to still keep tucked here. This might feel a little bit different than it did at the beginning. This feels a lot better for me than when I did this the first time. Last time through these. This is kind of a powerful position. And then into our goal post, and we'll come back to a couple of those thoracic twists that we found at the beginning. Feeling a little bit of lightness in our thoracic spine. Good, all right, last stretch today. We're just gonna bring our right leg. We'll do a hurdler stretch. So right leg is in front, left leg is behind. If it feels good, just stay here. If you want a little extra, you can start with a lifted chest, start to walk forward towards that right leg. So you should feel some opening in your hamstring and your glutes and your hips, depending on where you're tight. I always like to check into, and as much as you can, you want to kind of try to make sure these hips are even. Obviously, you can see my hips are not even, which is okay. We all have things. Good, and then we'll switch to the other side. That left leg comes in front, that right leg comes behind. This side is way tighter for me. So take a check in. You can see where my hips are, and this one is way further. And then if you feel like you can take that walk forward and come over that front leg. All right, really trying to, sometimes I also like to press on this back foot and you'll feel some extra lighting up on that right side. All right, when you're ready, you can come back up. We'll cross those legs over and just finish with some nice big shoulder rolls. Whatever feels good, you can play around with the arms. You can use those elbows. You can do little mini ones if that feels better. And then final thing, placing the other hand this time on the back of your neck,
pressing that skull back into your hand. Maybe you feel a little bit better here. This feels actually a lot better for me. Trying to drag the skull on top of your scapula and your hips. Good. All right. Thank you. Everyone would love any feedback you have or requests for the last couple weeks of the semester. I will stay here for a couple minutes. I'm going to stop recording.